Imagine a poor boy in a small village working 17 hours a day in the fields just to have one meal a day. Now imagine this same boy going on to build a car company worth 1 lakh crore rupees. This is the story of Hyundai's founder, Chung Ju-yung. Chung Ju-yung was born in 1915 in a small village in Korea. His dream was to become a school teacher, but the financial condition of the family was so bad that he could not even complete his education. In his childhood, he had to work day and night in the fields with his family. But even after so much hard work, there were many days when the family did not even have one meal a day. Proper clothes and medical care are a far cry. He often had to go to the nearby city to sell chunks of wood. There he saw that people had sufficient food and were wearing good clothes, that too without working day and night in the fields. Seeing all this, he started getting frustrated with his poverty and farm life and started wanting a better life for himself. One day he read in a newspaper article that a big construction project was being started in a nearby city and workers were needed for that project. On reading this, he started thinking and his heart started beating fast. And in 1932, at the age of 16, Chung took a shocking decision. He was going to leave his house and run away to the city. One night, Chung secretly left for the city with a friend. After walking about 160 kilometers, he reached Kovan City, and there he took up the job of a construction laborer. The work was very difficult, and the earnings were very less, but Chung was very happy because he was able to earn independently for the first time in his life. This continued for about 2 months, after which he was caught. Chung's father found him, and he had to come back to the village and start farming. The family was very happy with his return, but Chung was not happy. These 2 months of work ignited a passion for construction and civil engineering in him. He also knew that he would never be able to get out of poverty by working in the fields, and that is why he tried to run away 2 more times. He attempts to escape, and this time, no one stops him. He reaches Seoul, which is today the capital of South Korea. There he did whatever work he got. First a construction laborer, then a factory worker, and finally he got a job as a delivery boy in Bokyung rice store. Customers and shop owners were so impressed with his work that within 6 months he was promoted from delivery boy to managing the store. After this, Chung worked very hard and grew the shop on his own. In 1937, the store owners fell seriously ill and took a surprising decision. Seeing Chung's hard work, they handed over the store to Chung. At the age of 22, Chung had now become a business owner from an employee. In the next 2 years, Chung worked even harder and built trust and reputation in the market, due to which the business grew rapidly. Everything was going well when a tragedy happened. It was the time of World War II, and Korea was ruled by Japan at that time. The Japanese wanted their military to get sufficient rice supply during the war, due to which they took ownership of all the rice shops. Chung's rice shop was also taken away from him, and the business built with years of hard work ended in one stroke. Chung was very sad, but he did not give up. If I work on anything with all my heart and soul, then I can be successful in it. With this thought, he started looking for a business in which there was no interference from the Japanese government. Very soon, he zeroed down in the car repair business, and in 1940, he went to Edo Service and opened a garage by taking a loan of 3,000 baht. But this time, the luck was so bad that just a month after opening, a fire broke out in the garage and everything was burnt to ashes. Chung's situation was very difficult. He had to repay his loan and also compensate the customers for his loss due to the fire. A normal person would have easily given up in such a situation, but Chung faced the problem as always. He took a fresh loan of 3,500 won and built an even better garage. Chung noticed that the biggest problem of customers was that it took several weeks for their cars to be repaired. That is why he made speed his main focus. While his competitors took 20 days for a certain repair, Chung's garage could do the same repair in 5 days. his garage became so successful that in the next 3 years, i.e., by 1943, his workforce grew to 80 employees. By this time, Chung had repaid his entire loan and had also settled his family in Seoul. The business was growing rapidly, and then another major disaster happened. Japan had to make war-related equipment for World War II, so Japan took over the ownership of his garage and merged it with a local steel plant. Once again, the business built with his years of hard work was taken away from him in one stroke. Chung was back on square one. He had to return to his village with his family, but this time he had savings of 50,000 won, and he was confident that he would start a business again. With the end of World War II, Japan's rule in Korea also ended. The Soviet Union had influence in the northern area of Korea and America in the southern area, because both of them had fought together against Japan in World War II. Due to this, Korea was divided into North and South Korea. In 1946, Chung returned to Seoul and restarted his car repair business. The business was old, but this time the name was new. Hyundai Auto Service. Hyundai means modern car repair business was going well when Chung noticed that America was building buildings for its military forces. He spotted a big opportunity in the construction business. He did not have much experience in construction, but the passion for construction was still alive in him, which he had acquired by working as a laborer in his young days. And that is why, in 1947, at the age of 31, he established Hyundai Civil Works Company and entered the construction business. Initially, he got small jobs, but by 1950, his company was getting major construction projects, and now this had become his major business. Everything was going well when another twist comes in the story. In June 1950, North Korea attacks South Korea. The North Korean troops had come very close to Seoul, due to which Chung had to leave all his work and run away to Hussein City with his savings. But even after such a big crisis, Chung did not sit idle. At this time, the USSR was fighting the North Korean army along with South Korea, and they needed tents, warehouses, and army headquarters. Chung observed that the Americans had no shortage of money. All they wanted was reliable and timely delivery, and Chung gave the Americans just that. He started with a small team and adopted a can-do motto, meaning if the price was right, he was ready to take on any construction project. The war was going on, and he faced many problems. There were losses many times, but once he gave his word, he never left a project midway. Due to his reliability, he developed a very strong relationship with the Americans. The war ended in 1952, but Chung still kept getting contracts from the Americans, and later the South Korean government also started building bridges, dams, and roads rapidly to rebuild the country. Hyundai played a major role in all this, and the business saw exponential growth. South Korea's largest dam, Soyang Dam, and its most important expressway, Kunghu Expressway, were built by Hyundai. By 1960, Chung was in his early 50s and owned a successful construction company. But he was not satisfied with it. Chung had built thousands of kilometers of roads, and now the challenge was to make cars to run on those roads. In 1967, Chung established Hyundai Motor Company, and in 1968, he made a deal with Ford in which he was going to assemble Ford's Cortana cars. This joint venture ran successfully for 2 years, after which conflicts started developing between the two companies. Ford did not want Hyundai to make its own cars, and so in 1973, Chung ended this partnership and immediately started looking for new partners. He tried to make a deal with companies like General Motors and Volkswagen for manufacturing technology, but everyone refused. Finally, in the same year, he made an agreement with Mitsubishi Motors of Japan. Mitsubishi agreed to give car manufacturing technology to Hyundai. In this deal of best parts wars, Hyundai could sell cars with its own branding and its own name. During the same time, the South Korean government also issued an order for automobile companies that they have to make a citizen's car, a car that is affordable and reliable, and only parts made in South Korea are used in it In 1976, Chung set up a new plant, and Hyundai made South Korea's first ever mass-produced car, Hyundai Kona. Due to its affordability, this car became so successful in South Korea that Hyundai captured 60% market share in no time and became the largest car company there. But there was a catch. South Korea's total car market was only 30,000 cars, which was not sufficient to be profitable. Also, Hyundai Pony was a big success in South Korea, but was a big failure in the overseas market. The quality of the car was not good. The pen would break in the heat, and it would have mechanical issues regularly. And due to these reasons, Hyundai Motor Company was running in losses for the last 7 years. People told Chung that he should shut down the company as soon as possible. But Chung's decision shocked everyone. Far from shutting down the company, he was going to build a new car factory that could produce 30 lakh cars every year. The company's management did not understand this decision. After all, who will buy 3 lakh cars in a market of 30,000 cars? But Chung knew the answer. The South Korean economy was growing rapidly, and thousands of people were becoming economically empowered every year, which meant that the demand for cars was going to increase rapidly in the next few years. Plus, Hyundai's new cars were going to be specifically made for export to foreign countries. The factory was ready in 1980, and in 1982, Hyundai launched its Pony 2 car with many improvements. Not only was this car a super hit in South Korea, but it was also successfully exported to countries like Africa, Latin America, and Canada. In the next few years, Hyundai became profitable by selling 4 lakh cars. Hyundai was now established as a decent car company at the global level, but the world's toughest and biggest car market, the USA, was still to be cracked. To become a major car company internationally from a decent car company, it was necessary to be successful in the USA. When Hyundai studied the US market, it saw that the Japanese had captured the compact car segment, and the US companies already had cutthroat competition in the mid and large size market, so Hyundai targeted the subcompact market, where competition was virtually zero. Also, Hyundai saw that the market for second-hand cars in the USA was very big. They offered their new Hyundai XL to these customers at the price of a second-hand car. That too with a 5-year warranty. This strategy shook the US car market. Second-hand car buyers instantly shifted to Hyundai XL. In 1986, Hyundai sold around 170,000 XLs in the USA and around 260,000 in 1987. In both these years, Hyundai XL became the top-selling imported car in the USA. No other car company had seen such a big initial success in the US market till then, and with this Hyundai got established as a major car company at the global level. That same year, at the age of 72, Chung retired from Hyundai and took the title of honorary chairman, after which his brother and sons took over the reins of the company and ran the company with the same determination as before. Today, Hyundai is the third biggest car company in the world, and in just 2022, it sold about 40 lakh cars. Although Hyundai is known globally only for its car business, very few people know that it is a part of the Hyundai Group. There are a total of 42 different companies like Hyundai Elevator, Hyundai Information Technology, and Hyundai Heavy Industries, which is the world's largest shipbuilding company, and it is because of Hyundai that South Korea has become the world's largest shipbuilding country by surpassing Japan. Hyundai is not a normal company for South Korea. Hyundai is an institution that rebuilt the country, created thousands of jobs, and got global recognition for South Korea, and all this started by a boy from a village who did not have basic facilities like food and healthcare. But he had immense passion, a vision, and most importantly, a desire for better.